Hello guys, welcome to this video. So in this video I will actually show you the data fetching from a REST API, and we'll be using Axios library in JavaScript. So you can see on your screen, this is actually the demo. As I refresh the application, we have this button and we are actually fetching random users from the random user API, and we have the profile picture, name of the person, email address, phone number, location. If you drag down, each of the user have these properties. By default we are fetching 5 users as we load the page, as we load the application. Then we have this button called as load more users. So if I click this button, a next set of users will pop in, you will see that. So I will show you how to implement this data fetching on dynamic basis. So if you click the button, a REST API call will be happening to the REST API, and the next set of users will be shown in the browser. So I will be showing you how to use Axios for this, how to call the REST API to actually fetch these details, fetch these users and display them inside the browser. So it will be a complete tutorial. So please hit that like button, subscribe the channel as well. So now let's get started. So for actually fetching all this data, we are actually using a free API called as Random User API, this is their official website, Random User Generator. It's a free and open source API for generating the random user data, such as the profile picture, email address, date of birth, everything you can generate it. So now all the source code is given in the description. So now I will actually build it from scratch. So just give it a title, random user API example. So right here guys, first of all, what we need to do, inside our HTML, we will have a simple heading which will say paginated user fetch with Axios. We have a simple heading right here, random user API. So after this heading, we will have a simple button, and this will be load more. We are given an ID to it, and this will simply say load more users. So if you just open this application in the browser, you will see this. We also need to write some custom CSS as well. So we have this JavaScript code right here, and for doing this we do need to include the CDN for Axios. So simply copy the CDN right here, paste it. You'll see we are simply pasting this. Axios is actually a package. Axios, you can just visit CDN.js to actually copy the CDN of Axios right here. So I have already pasted the CDN right here. So now we basically need to set some parameters for this. First is the current page. Current page will be 1, and then we will, how many users we will be fetching per page. We'll be fetching, displaying the 5 users per page. You can customize everything right here, all these values. And after this we will actually be defining a function which will be responsible for fetching the users. This will be a simple async function. We will call this as fetch users, and we will also be calling this as we load the page. So fetch users, we are calling this function. So this is actually a async function. So right here we need to actually use the Axios. So axios.get. So here you need to put the URL of the API, https randomuser.me/API/version users. This is actually the API, and here we can attach some parameters to this API. Random users.me/API, and then we need to put a question mark here for the query parameter, and we will be fetching the page number. So just make it this dynamic, so just put backtick symbol, and here we can dynamically put variables. So we will put the current page we have set, and the second parameter is the number of results that we need to fetch per page. So we need to fetch the users per page value, users per page. So these are the two parameters we have set. If you see, just need to put a dollar sign right here. These are two variables. First is the current page. If you see, we have put current page to 1, users per page is 5, and if you just copy this URL and paste it in the browser, you will see what I am talking about. So you can customize everything. If you just paste it, results is 5, and I need to fetch the page number first. So this looks something like this: https random user me slash API slash question mark page is equal to 1, results is 5. So if you enter it, it actually returns a JSON response to you, which actually contains these results. And we have these properties: gender, name, title, first name, location, city, state, country, time zone. This is the email. This is the login information, username, password, and this is actually the profile picture that you are getting it. So 5 users are returned to it. If you see, you can even control this also. If you only want to return 2 users, now it will only return 2 users. You can see that all different. Every time random users are fetched. So we are dynamically doing it using Axios right here. We are making a simple get request. So this actually returns a promise. We can handle this using .then. So we can have the response coming, and here we just need to, inside this, we need to say let users. So first of all, we can simply console log the response. Just check if the response is coming or not. So if you just refresh your application, check inspect element, you will see you will receive this object, and it will actually contains the data property in the object. So we need this data property, and inside the data property we have the results. So 5 users have been returned. We need to get these, so we can simply say response dot data dot users, sorry, results. So we need to store this in the users, so you can say response dot data dot results. This is actually a array, so we can simply loop through it. First of all, we do need to get the reference in the HTML where we need to display these users. So document dot get element by ID content. So just in the HTML, just after this button, we can actually have a content div just after this heading. Just give it an ID here of content. So here you will be displaying all the users which are coming. We have given this ID. If you see content, we are targeting this ID right here. So now to actually loop through all the users, we can simply say users dot, we can use the for each loop. For each user, we can simply loop through it, and we can simply say user div document dot create element div. So we are actually creating a new element, user div. So after this, we just need to say user div dot inner HTML, and sorry, first of all, we do need to set the class as well. So class name is equal to user. We will target it in the CSS when we write it. Inner HTML, we can manipulate it using the backtick symbol just to write multiple lines of HTML. So here we'll be having this image tag to actually first of all show the profile picture of the user, which will be located inside this property, which is user.picture.medium. You can just have in double quotes, sorry. And we can also have the alt tag as well. Just close this image tag, and inside this you can simply, in the alt tag, we can say user.name.first, like this. So if you refresh now, all the profile pictures will be shown to you. First of all, we do need to add this div as well. So just after this for loop right here, which is over, we do need to, after this line, simply say content div append child user div. So we are actually adding this, appending it to the browser. Now you see 5 photographs are added. So whenever you do, automatically random photographs, random users photographs have been fetched from the API and displayed in the browser. If you click load more users, nothing will happen. So we do need to bind a simple event listener to the button. So we can say document.get element by ID, load more. If you see, we have given this ID load more. Can add event listener to it. So when we click this, we'll basically call this function fetch users. So if you refresh, click this, next set of users will pop in. You can see that. As we click this button, next 5 users are popping in. So you can see that it's damn easy. And after you do this, we also need to fetch the first name, last name as well as we fetch the profile picture. Just after this, we can simply say we can have a div tag right here. Just close the div tag, and inside this, in the h2 tag, we will actually be having user.name.first and then user.name.last. So this is actually the first name and the last name which is showing, and similarly we will actually be showing the email address as well. So this will be for the email address. Then we can even show similarly the phone number as well, user phone, and similarly we can even show location as well, user.location, and it also have the city name as well, user location city, put a comma, and then we can even show user.location.country. You can see Serbia, France. So that's all, guys. Uh, what you need to do after you do this, you can increment this current page property plus plus. So what it will do, it will increase this value of current page variable that is currently 1. So whenever we load the users, it will load from the current page value 1. So after we do this, we increase this number from 1. So now the current page value will become 2. So it will now fetch this next set of users. So you can see again, if I click, you will see that. So now to actually style this, we can add some CSS. This is not mandatory, but it's good to actually style these as well. Just after here, we can add some styling as well. So in the body, we can simply say, we can change the font family to be Arial sans serif. And the user class, we can target and we can simply give it a border of 1 pixel solid this color, margin bottom. All the source code is given in the description. We can also give some padding as well, border radius, just to make it somewhat round as well. 5 pixel display flex. And we will align the items in the center position. So now it will center itself. You can see that it is appearing in a card-like structure. And also we just need to target the image tag as well. user image. So you just need to give a fixed width to the image of 50 pixel, height of also 50 pixel. Border radius I will change to 50% to make it complete round in a circle like. Margin right I will say 10 pixel. It will look like this. And similarly for the button, we can give a padding here of 10 pixel, 15 pixel. A background color we can change this to this 4CAF50. Color is white. Border I will remove it. Border radius once again I will change to 5 pixel just to add some roundness. Cursor pointer, margin top, I will say 20 pixel. So now the button will have this nice little round structure, and we have changed the green. So these are two pseudo classes we can attach when we hover or when the button is disabled. So this is overall application, guys, using Axios, how to actually do the data fetching from the REST API. We are actually fetching the random users with pagination. Now we can display a set number of users on when we load the application. We are fetching 5 users, and now when we click this button, we are dynamically fetching more users from the random user API. So this was a tutorial, guys. Thank you very much for watching this, and please hit that like button, and I will be seeing you in the next one.